Yo, 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 yo. What is up? What is up? What is up? It's your boy Wildcard Mar in the building. I have Dr.
Hold the best schnitzel.
Dr. Who?
I am Dr. Hold my schnitzel.
Oh my goodness. I see we're starting our Thursday show off in typical Detroit male fashion, aka Dr. Holding his schnitzel, because
Yes.
I'm not
It's not designed for you.
no, it's not. I don't want it to be. But no, man, thank you for tuning in.
So I found
Another
that goes
episode.
back
No, sir. I need to get this out of the way because no, I'm blocking you out. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of I.O.W. Sports. It's episode 238. I don't even know where to start with this guy. Anyway, y'all know the deal, man. Follow us at all our social media platforms.
All right.
See it underneath. I.O.W. Sports Network on Facebook, Instagram. Most importantly, the YouTube channel where you can like, share, follow, subscribe, hit that bell notification every time we drop some content. And, follow us there for sure. You can follow us on Twitter as well, I.O.W. Sports 1. You can follow me personally, Casey Wildcard Mar on Twitter, Wildcard Mar on Facebook and Instagram. What does that say under your name, Dr. Holding your schnitzel?
Oh, I am a fuck you in.
You fuck you in. Is that a
It's a small island called fuck you. South of the Pacific.
south of the Pacific Ocean? Okay.
Yes.
Is it like closer to like Fiji or something?
It's in that area, you know.
Oh, in that area. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like a few hours from Hawaii and all that shit.
It used to be part of the Democratic Republic of Congo, but we had like a civil war. So moved to the island.
I can't with this guy. Hey, man. But y'all know the deal, man. Please follow us at all our social media platforms underneath. Dr. Roofy. Dr. Rufus Trombone. Hey, MJ, man, don't feed into this fool shit, bro. This fool is already gone on another level as it is, and he's already acting a damn plum fool. We barely 5 minutes in the show. I barely even got the introduction out the way. But now that we got that out the way, man, right. Besides this guy acting a damn trombone fool, man, we got some NBA talk about. Right. I don't care what nobody say. I ain't feeling good about the Lakers, bro. And that's me being. Y'all know I root for the Lakers.
Come on, bro.
Man, I ain't feeling good about it, bro. I don't. In my country, we fuck. And it's fuck you, and definitely, big dirty chick, fuck
yes.
you.
Definitely fuck you.
definitely fuck you. But no, man. So we got the play-in tournament. All right. So what is this? Third, fourth year play-in tournament?
Yeah.
You still feeling the same way about it when it first came out?
I mean, I can take it or leave it.
You say take it out of here?
I can take it. I can take it or leave it. My thing is like,
okay,
it's like we complain about people giving those participation trophies.
I think that's what this is, though.
Now we just doing the same thing in the NBA. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I understand you trying to get more views and all that stuff. And
no, they ain't trying to get more views. Trying to get more revenue, bro.
I'm leading down that road.
Okay.
More revenue.
Stop beating around the bush, Mr. Trombone. Stop bowling around the bush and get to the point, man.
That's holding my central, but okay. So I don't know, man. It's just like understand that the NBA's mindset, the business behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More revenue, get more eyes on the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you're on TV longer, because now you got more games. And or we say sooner. We'll say sooner because more games, more opportunity to see maybe your teams, which would kind of draw the fans' eyes to it. Because maybe your team is always on the bubble with the regular playoffs, but now with the play-in tournament, they can kind of sneak in and at least play. Or you know what I'm saying? You get on the road, you can at least get into the playoffs, or maybe get lucky and get a good seeding and beat the first team, get you excited. You know what I'm saying? So I understand it behind that thing, but my thing is, it's just a participation trophy. You award the team for being sorry as hell. He said, "I didn't know there were black Germans from Detroit." Matt, there's niggas everywhere.
Hey, man, get back to your point, man. What you were saying, man. I can't. Matt, stop. MJ, stop feeding this motherfucking shit, man.
But that's my thing. You know, it's I don't know. To me, it watered down. It watered down because now you got sorry teams on my television.
True.
Playing. You know what I'm saying? I wait for the playoffs so I gotta see the niggas play.
Yeah. You want to see good players.
Right. So that's my thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on.
No, I feel you.
Okay, let's take OKC and the Pelicans. I will admit it was a good game.
That was a good game.
It was a good game.
It was.
But, you know, I won't see OKC play. It's better than I thought it was.
Whoa! What you hating on OKC for?
Nigga, I'm from Oklahoma. I'm still play for.
Hey man, come on. Hey, see, look. All right, so for those who don't, catch OKC Thunder games, obviously we don't catch a lot of Thunder games across this way in Carolina. But come on, man, Thunder got some they got a little trio that might be all right. And then that's without Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren had to sit out the whole year. So imagine had you had him, you might have had 4 solid young dudes that might have done something with OKC had he played. I'm just saying, possibly. So I mean, let's not dismiss OKC as that they're trash. I mean, they were the 10th seed all year. I mean, respectively, out of 15 teams, they were the 10th best.
Smell like trash to me.
Well, you mentioned white basketball players, and I magically appear, right?
Right. Yeah, we're gonna talk about horrible basketball players, and you appear.
White people pop up like Beetlejuice.
White people. Here comes Nick.
What's up, man?
What's going on, Big Nick? How you doing, bro?
All right, guys, how you doing?
Good.
Oh my goodness, but no. MJ's on a roll. Hey, MJ, please hold on. Whatever this you got going on that you on a roll, please save this for tonight's show.
I'm only German on the outside.
Oh, my man rocking a Biggie shirt. Okay. But
Walmart,
no.
$8.99. Walmart, top of the food chain for vintage tees.
There's no way. How long ago was this purchase?
Last Friday.
No way.
Walmart selling shirts like that?
Boy, I'm on the way. I'm about to go to Walmart right now.
It might just be the Walmart.
It had a Tupac shirt. The shirt was nicer, but I'm East Coast. I couldn't do it.
Oh my God! Oh, this guy is still living the West Coast, East Coast beef. hey, but look,
I'll root for Boston before LA. That's how deep it is, and you know how much I hate everything from Boston.
To your point, Mel, you're right. Mm-hmm. I don't want to see bad teams. I think your example was bad because OKC, even though their record is what it is, I don't think they're necessarily a bad team. But the thing is, you still got
a bad team. I said I don't want to see them play.
Well, you may not want to see them play, but you still got to look at the fact that the West was very competitive this year, and it's not like record wise, they were competitive. It's not like I'm saying like they're world beaters or going to win a championship. Yeah, but I mean, that's 42
that's a participation trophy.
but man, okay, so I tell you this: 42-40 would have put them near probably the 7th or 8th seed in the East.
Oh, we already know the East is bad.
So I mean, but I'm just saying overall, I get your point. You don't want to see bad teams, and I definitely agree with you with the point of the participation with the play-in tournament. That's how it feels.
Right.
And, I said this on last night's show, and I said this 3 years ago when they start rolling this out. If I'm the seventh and eighth seed, yeah, it's been like 3-4 years.
Dang.
The bubble was the first year, so 20, 21, 22, 23 is the fourth year of the play-in.
If I'm a 7th or 8th seed, I absolutely hate the play-in tournament because the fact of the matter is, for 82 games, we all play 82 games. I've been better than 9th and 10th seed for 82 games.
Right.
That's just the fact of the matter is. At the end of the standings, at the end of the regular seasons, I've been better than them from 82 games. Why are we trying to reward them now? They had 82 opportunities to be better than me, and they're not.
There you go.
So that's why I've never been a fan of the play-in tournament. Now I will say this: there's been some exciting games since they started it and they rolled it out. Right. There's been some very close games, very competitive games, because there are teams that absolutely know that.
What's up, Ant?
Yeah, they live in the play-in tournament. I ain't even gonna cap. Hey, it's either they live in the play-in tournament or they just don't even make it.
Or they watching it. One of the two.
So I mean, I'm with you.
Basketball as a spectator sport.
I can do without it. I can do without the play-in tournament. But now that it's here, and it's been a couple of years since they had it, I mean, I'm not 100% opposed to it. It's exciting basketball, but I mean, it's just like I will still never get over that feeling like, hey, man, I've been better than these bums for 82 games. Why are you punishing me now? And all it takes is for one game for you to get caught slipping.
Yep, that's it.
Well, actually 2 games if you're the 7th or 8th seed. So if you lose the first one, you got to win the second one. So if you're the 7th or 8th seed, if you get caught slipping twice, you like, oh man, all that work I did for 82 games out the window.
Right.
It means nothing. The regular season means absolutely nothing for 7th and 8th seeds in the NBA now.
It's like college.
I mean, I don't
know. The tournament.
I
mean, all you gotta do is good enough to make the tournament.
Well, NCAA, yeah, because that's a
same thing.
Win or go home situation. All you got to do is get hot. Because I mean, I'm not gonna cap. I didn't see UConn doing what they did, reeling off that great run that they just did in the tournament.
Nobody saw Florida Atlantic doing what they did.
Though, right? That's what makes college tournaments so beautiful, is that it's one game and anything can happen. You can blow a 19-point lead and you don't have the chance to rebound from it the next day.
Yeah, but keep that in college. Don't give me that in the NBA.
You're not a fan of that, huh?
I'm not a fan of the tournament. I'm not
a fan of this respectfully. You are a fan of having the top players and the top teams go at it because that's what interests you. Like the college tournament, I think the beauty of it is the opposite. I think the beauty of it is the small program that everyone's been together for 3-4 years, come and beat the Kentucky's, Duke, Carolina. Like, to me, that's the beauty of the tournament. That's coming from a Carolina fan.
No.
The beauty of the tournament is George Mason making a run.
Yeah, we don't disagree with you on that.
No. We're not disagreeing with that. I absolutely love the NCAA tournament. I'm just saying, keep NCAA tournament.
Oh man, I knew what you was talking about.
Tournament and matchup wise, keep that in there because it works for the NCAA tournament. It doesn't work for the NBA because you have an 82 game schedule to pretty much fight for seeding for 82 games. The beginning of the season, all the way to game 82, you're jockeying for your position in those top eight spots.
I'm willing to bet this. The ratings for the one playoff game will be better than the majority of game 1 of a series. I'm willing to bet that.
I wouldn't doubt.
No, there's a bigger magnifying glass on a one and done. It's just the way it is in sports. Baseball's doing it with that one game. The Yankees have been bumped out by that several times. They lost to the Astros with, I think, Dallas Keuchel was the pitcher with the beard on a one in. It's more interesting. Look at the NFL playoffs. I love the one and done. Like a 5-7 game series, 90% of the time, if it's a big favorite, they're gonna figure it out. Right? Yeah. The NBA got so tired of upsets, they went from a 5-game series to a 7 just to make sure the better teams have a better chance to go forward. Remember, round 1 used to be best of 5.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
no. They did change it, but since then they've gone back because it's still first round after the play-in tournament. It should be a best of 5. Last time I checked.
So round 1 is about. It is. You're right. This one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
They went. Yeah. So they went back to best of 5 in the first round, and then everything else is 7. And look,
I'm not gonna pretend to know the NBA as well as you guys. I'm gonna stick to my round 1 mock draft I'm working on for the second round. I'm sorry, cut out of my lane. Forgive me.
No, you good. No, you good because obviously your input is going to be some things that it said if you really are good, you don't need a 7-game series. Well, to Nick's point, if that's the case, then do the one and done. Because if you're so good, then you don't need a series at all. You should be able to show up any day, anytime, and be like, I'm better than that team. I've already proved it for an 82-game season, and I'm gonna do it in this one game. That's all I need is one game. Just my opinion,
There's a lot of times when LeBron was with the Heat and the Cavs, they would lose game 1 of a series and end up winning in 5. Like you see what people are going to throw at you in a series, and then you can make your adjustments too.
A fill-out game.
The strategy is different in a one and done than it would be in a series, because in a series, you have time to adjust and counter whatever they're throwing at you. Dr. Holden Maschitzel.
You just now seeing that? Oh my god!
I dislike him so much. I don't even try to look up in the right corner. Very good, Mel.
Best of 3. I'm okay with best of 3 because here's my thing.
Away games. Does he mean for the play-in?
No. For playoffs.
They're not giving away games. If anything, they'll move the play-in up. They're not giving away playoff games at this point with the television contract they have. That's non-discussion for the league.
No, without a doubt. No, I agree with you. NBA is not going to, bite their own noses off. So they're for sure not going to, decompress some of these series to shorten it for. I don't know. It's just for me personally. It's like, after the play-in tournament, then you start getting into the meat potatoes. Because here's the bad thing. Here's the bad thing of this play-in tournament. You automatically take the 2 worst teams and you're going against the best teams. I don't see the Lakers favorite against Memphis. I don't see whether OKC or who's the other team? OKC or Minnesota doing anything with Denver.
I don't either.
Look on the East. I don't see. I don't see. Who is that? Who won? I don't see the Hawks. Had any type of chance with Boston.
I don't know.
I don't think it's Heat competing with Milwaukee.
But I'll say this about the Hawks. The Hawks one of those teams that they can get on a roll and beat just about anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like other teams that you mentioned. I think it'd be a straight.
That's fair.
Blowout. But I think the way the Hawks play, they so streaky, and they go and they live and die by Trae Young.
I'll say this. And I said this the other night. I like what Quinn Snyder did in that play-in game. I haven't really seen a lot of the Atlanta Hawks, but I do recall that they ended up firing Nate McMillan halfway through the season. Trae Young just him and Trae Young weren't getting along. Let's call it what it is. Superstar got the vote of confidence over the coach. More times than not, that's going to happen in most places. So Trae Young getting Quinn Snyder. Quinn Snyder was putting him in some good positions coming off screen, a high pick and roll, high screen at the top of the key to kind of give space for Trae. So it was more like he would give it up on the high pick and roll, and then he would get it back in the spot where he would have some space to get a shot off. And I thought that was very genius of Quinn Snyder.
And that's something that if they're in a series, you can adjust to it.
You can adjust to,
right? Like they would have to change their strategy and things.
Exactly.
Very smart to throw out something that the opposition hasn't seen before because it's tough to adjust on the fly.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, with Trae Young, and I'm not putting him on that same level as Steph Curry, but you know, to your point, Mel, Trae Young get hot, boy, look out. And then don't let John Collins start getting off, and then don't let Clinton Capella, you know, dominate the paint like he did the other night. Speaking of which, I need to go back.
That was the Heat's biggest problem. They gave a lot of offensive boards, a lot. This opportunities.
Sidebar conversation. So that Heat and Hawks game, I'm looking at that game. I'm looking at Bam Adebayo. I'm like, bro, you was getting bullied, bro.
Right.
You was getting mopped in the paint by Clint Capella and homeboy that came off the bench, Ngannou. I'm probably mispronounced his name, but
close enough.
One of them Nigerian names. So you know, he came off the bench and was giving Bam Adebayo that work in the paint. And I'm looking at I'm like, damn, Bam, like and here's my problem with the Heat. And I'm gonna be honest. For the last few years, y'all been giving Udonis Haslem almost $2-3 million a year to be a cheerleader on the bench for the last few years.
I want to know what's going on with that, bro.
Wasting a roster spot, and almost $2 to $3 million a year. And y'all could have added something that could have helped y'all win. That y'all could have helped, help y'all win. Because Bam Adebayo is streaky. We know about Jimmy Butler. Obviously, I'm a fan of Jimmy Butler, but you know he's good at a lot of things, never excellent at one or more things. But you know, he's around,
Paul George, right? Jimmy Butler's like Paul George. There's games where he looks like a top 5 player in the NBA, and then there's games where you don't even know he's on the team.
Right.
Yeah, and Jimmy didn't have it the other night. He didn't have it the other night. He was missing bunnies. He was missing easy shots at the rim. And once I saw that Jimmy didn't have it, and I'm like, oh shit, this game's over because Bam Adebayo ain't doing enough. Luckily, Kyle Lowry, who I've never been a big fan of, actually came off the bench and played phenomenal, which is
better than he did last year.
Well, that's what I'm saying, which is odd because we already know how Kyle Lowry shrinks in playoff time.
Last year he looked like garbage. I was like, I could have got that check.
But I'm looking at how the Heat are structured. A streaky Bam, a more consistent than not Jimmy, not a legit superstar.
More like Lowry.
Then you look at Tyler Hero, who's never consistent enough as a shooter,
right?
And staying healthy. So it's like I'm not understanding the structure of Miami Heat, and that sucks because I like Eric Spoelstra, who's been one of my favorite coaches, who literally was just talked about as just a guy that managed the big three in Miami, and he's won championships with them and managed to still be a damn good coach despite not having the big three. So, I mean, I hate to see Eric Spoelstra go through this, but it's almost look like, damn, bro, I think y'all need to reset, bro. I would keep Jimmy, and then I would literally have a question mark by everybody else on that roster.
Everybody can go, including Haslam.
Well, he's finally retiring, but I never understood.
I don't understand why they kept him so long. Like, what was the purpose?
This dude be averaging like 3, 4, 7 minutes a year.
Right.
A year.
I play more than he do.
Was he the new Brian Scalabrine?
No. Scalo at least saw the floor more than that, bro. Scalabrini saw the floor more than that, bro. I ain't even going try to shade Scalabrini like that. He saw the floor more than that. Like, damn, Udonis Haslem wouldn't even still get in garbage time, bro. Like, when you're averaging 3, 4, 7 minutes a year,
I'm good.
Put it this way. Based off of Haslam's career and his averages compared to Kobe's career and his averages, this was the equivalent of Haslam having a 60-point game at the Forum or the stadium, right? Like, for him to drop 20 is like Kobe dropping 60. That is
that happened the other night when everybody was resting all their people at the end of the regular season.
The last game, he had his Kobe farewell game.
Yeah, he dropped like 25 or something like that. So I'm like,
he raised his average to the year to 1.2 points per game.
Just off one game. Off one game, bro. So I mean, like, I'm looking at Miami. I'm like, yo, like Jimmy needs more. He needs more, and you gotta update Bam's position. I don't know if you go get another big man and move Bam to the power, move him to the 4. I think that's probably a more better move. Get you
Bam need a heart transplant.
He needs some heart.
He need some heart.
Said that man needs some heart. Yeah, but
motherfucker playing a cowardly lion.
but regardless, man, my Miami, you know, hey, they got one more opportunity. They take on the Bulls, who last night, I got to give the Bulls credit, man, down 19. You know, they fought back, kept fighting, and they took care of business. But I'm not going to alleviate the Toronto Raptors. You guys went absolutely dreadful from the free throw line. And me and MJ talked about this last night. It's fundamentals, yo. Like, it's literally fundamentals. How do you have 36 attempts at the free throw line? Your opponent has 22. But what won them the game is the fact that they went 18 of 22, shot 82% from the free throw line. You go 18 for 36. You go 50% from the free throw line. You left points on the table. You see why you blew a 19-point lead? You see why you're packing your bags? You didn't button up on the fundamentals.
Right.
Hey, I got to shout out DeMar DeRozan's baby girl. She
Oh,
was
yeah.
screaming at the top of her lungs. She was making sure that, hey, I'm gonna distract these rappers.
The LeBron dark mode meme where she like had her head down and her eyes up.
And she, hey, as soon as they get for the release, she goes, "Ma!" And she was loud, bro. And she was sitting real close where they had no choice to hear. And then, man, shout out to ESPN for doing the split screen and making sure that they show baby girl some love, man. I love it. I love to see stuff like that, man.
You know what? I'll look at this the other day too. Maybe I don't know why it made me think about this, but you know that's why I watch LeBron's highlights. It's always showing at least one highlight when him complaining.
Oh, it's always going to be that. Come on.
I mean,
that's
every highlight you watching him, at least one of those highlights he complaining. I'm like,
Detroit man, come on.
This don't make no damn sense.
That's like, come on. You grabbing the booty is expected. LeBron whining about a ref call is expected. It's one and the same.
But come on, man. You're supposed to be the quote unquote GOAT.
Mel's the ref in his analogy, and the females are LeBron because he's always doing something to make them feel like a victim.
At least I'm consistent.
He said I'm consistent. But I mean,
Yes. That's why the women don't even complain anymore. They just go, "Oh, okay, he got me again.
Got me again."
I told you that.
Rascal Jamel.
I be at work and I be doing crazy stuff like that's just Jamel.
Right.
I break people in.
It's
I had to get used to be like, it's just that motherfucker. Don't worry about it.
just relax. You'll get comfortable with it.
You get used to it.
Yeah, you'll get used to it. Don't worry. But I mean, it's
not harassment if you do it from the gate.
Hey.
It's just the way it is.
It's not harassment if I warn you first.
I'm just looking at the Raptors. I'm like, bro, fundamentals, and you're at home. It's not like you're on that same. This is totally different from when Mike Conley had to shoot 3 free throws to tie the game on the road in LA.
Right.
It's totally different.
That was a great game too, though.
That was a great game. I'll say that. But even Siakam had a point to tie the game with 3 free throws.
Mm-hmm.
Made the first one, came way short on the second one, and bounced the third. I'm like, you're at home. It's not like, yeah, there's noise, but like, come on, like, it's free throws. There's no hand in your face. There's nobody guarding you. Like, literally, like, it's you, basketball, rim. You, basketball, rim. That's it. Like, I could understand if 3 of us was out there and we missed a free throw. We're not professional basketball players.
Right.
These dudes are supposed to be the best of the best in the world, and you messing up on fundamental stuff. Know what I mean? Like, come on.
Right.
I don't have to run beforehand, I'm not missing a free throw. If there's running involved and I'm tired and my body has no oxygen and my muscles are cramping up, yes, maybe. But I'll hit 80-90% if I'm not running.
It's a free throw, man. Like I'm just. Now you're going home.
Right.
You cleaning out your lockers today, bro, because y'all couldn't hit free throws. And it's crazy to me that this came down to that. But let's go to another game of this play-in tournament. Last night, Pelicans and Thunder. That was a good game, and
it was.
And it's time to play GM scenario. Time to play GM.
I'm gonna ask. Go ahead. I'm gonna see you gonna say it.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So in this GM scenario, you see Zion Williamson only played 29 games this season.
That's right.
All right. Only 29. He comes into the play-in tournament and says, "Hey, I'm physically fine. I'm good." And let me pull up the quote so I can talk about it for real in depth. He says, "Physically, I'm fine. Now it's just a matter of when I feel like Zion. I understand the magnitude of these games coming up, and I don't want to be out there hesitating or doing something that may affect my team in a bad way."
See, what I call that?
You hear him say that. So you hear him say that, Mel, big homie Nick. You hear him say that, and take into account he only played 29 games, and also pregame, this man is doing windmill dunks. He's doing windmill dunks with ease. Windmill. I'm talking about, oh yeah.
That's
and he doesn't blow.
Windmill. What kind of fucking windmills have you seen, bro?
Have you seen how big Zion is?
Down there? Hey, man, sir,
you see how big
what kind of windmills do they have below the Mason Dixon? What kind of sound was that?
Sir, those are called athletic hood windmills. And
sounds like the last sound one of Mel's
create a lot of wind. We got a lot of force behind it. And you better be careful. You might get some testicles on your face if you don't jump right. So
like I said, it sounds like the last sound one of Mel's victims make. You better be careful. You better watch that.
Sir, you got that all wrong. They don't make any sound when they're unconscious.
So what I'm saying is so take all this into account. He only played 29 games out of 82. He says he's physically fine, but now all of a sudden he's saying, I don't want to be detriment to the team if I don't feel like Zion. Doing windmill dunks in the pregame, before the pregame. Oh, and then let's get to the result of the game. It's a close game now. A close game. You know, it's a real close game between you and the Thunder. And my thing is, you only lose by 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
So scenario time.
What's
GM Dr. Holden your schnitzel.
Yes, sir.
What you gonna do with Zion Williamson, man?
Get rid of him, man. It sounds like bitch assness to me. I'm saying, how you can't be a superstar, bro, and if you are available to play and don't play, that's not a superstar. I can't call you a superstar if it's time to play and you making excuses. Oh well, I gotta wait till I feel like. You think Jordan had the flu and played?
Had the flu game.
The flu. You think he's like, well, I don't feel like Jordan. I ain't gonna play. He played.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's what a superstar does.
Mm-hmm.
That right there is bitch assness at its finest.
Bitch assticity of this mofo.
Right, for real. It's like, come on, man. They pay you money to play as a superstar, and if you are available, if you're not on crutches in a boot or something like that, you should be playing.
Mm-hmm.
Period. Why am I wasting money on you?
I don't agree often, but Mel is 100% right. When you say I feel fine and then follow it up with reasons not to play, that's some heavy bitch assticity, right?
For real, man.
That's another level of you don't have that killer instinct. You don't have that winning desire, and you care about the check more than you care about the game. I'm done with I think Zion peaked his sophomore year in high school. I really do. I just think it's going to be one of those players that it's always going to be what if. or when he. It's never going to be look what he's doing now. You'll have
so you're saying he's in the Greg Oden conversation.
I mean, I've said it for 2 years, right? I've said it since I first met you guys. I'm saying that this is the career. Like he's too big, he's too bulky, he's very explosive. You got to give him that. But his legs will not be able to hold up with that in the NBA.
Yeah.
You could do it when you're dunking on 5'10" white kids in high school. No big deal. There's no threat to you. There's no physical threat to you. You're going to land.
Everybody's smaller than you when you that big. When you peak like that, everybody's smaller than you. So of course you're going to be down.
Now you have big physical guys coming at you, bumping you off your way, and you're landing abnormally. And you've been used to being a physical dominant force your entire life. And now you're going against physical specimens who can handle your physicality.
Right.
You land one wrong way, you lose your confidence, man. You don't want to land on that knee again.
Yeah.
I hate stairs. I got with ruptured ACL. I hate stairs. I'm intimidated when I see stairs. Imagine what a 7-foot guy in the paint does to him now.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That's some weak heart, and I lose a lot of respect. Basically, because he went to Duke. I've lost a lot of respect when he went to Duke, but now I even lose more.
Yeah.
See what AP put down there?
Yeah.
That's the biggest factor that I haven't even mentioned yet, because he's coming off his last 2 years of the club exercise option. So he got 10.7 last year, got 13.5 this year. Oh, y'all remember that contract extension that he got? He got the max. So kicking in next year at the age of 23 and barely even played any years in the NBA. That starts the 5-year, $194 million contract extension. Average annual salary is $39 million. So he'll make
bonfire at the beach. They're burning that money.
He'll make 33.5 next year. That's when that extension kicks in.
That's crazy.
Maybe that's them protecting their investment and saying, we want you 100% next year. God forbid something else happens in the offseason. We know we're not a title contender. Let's get you to game one next year 100% and hope for the best.
Oh, that's your scenario? Is it just away from
maybe the organization is in on it where that big money kicks in next year, like you said. Now all of a sudden, all right, we got you back. We don't want to have you have another setback before next season.
Hey, big homie Nick.
I'll say this though, Nick.
Big homie Nick. You, GM of the Pelicans, what do you do with this situation, man? What do you do? I don't give a damn what you think that New Orleans might do. What do you do?
It's tough, right? Because when you got that big contract coming in, you got to look ahead as well as the present day. And like I said, them not being a legit title contender, they might be all saying as an organization, the best thing for our organization moving forward is a healthy Zion for next year.
I would almost agree with that, but if you look at when they started off this year, they were hot.
They were, and he was part of it.
And he was part of it. It wasn't like they were beating like Charlotte and stuff like that. They was beating good, legitimate teams.
They were the number one
he got hurt.
Yeah, and they were on fire. You're right.
So to me, it's like if I'm a GM, I'm looking at them like, okay, he come back, we might have a chance at this thing because look what we had done at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree with that. I would agree with that if we were Charlotte, if we were somebody else, I would agree with that. But if you look at how they started this year and still kind of stayed in it without him, and then I said,
had a good run last year without him.
Had a good run without him. I said, oh, shoot, we got him. We might have a chance to do this thing because all it takes is you getting hot, and you're a pretty good team. You can win the thing.
Yeah, but basketball is all about that chemistry, right? That's why you see teams turn it up in early to mid-March because they're getting playoff ready. You throw in a guy who hasn't been there for that long, and now you're messing with the chemistry. We don't need him in Brooklyn. Trade him to the Knicks. The Knicks need to stack so many players, right?
Hey, Nick, I tried to say that last night to MJ. He was like, don't you say it. Don't you dare say it. Because he knew I was
He'd be like all the other greats to play for the Knicks, like Jalen Rose and that's it.
Hey, but
he'd be like Willis Reed limping around all the goddamn time, and Knicks fans would worship him.
Yeah, but Willis Reed at least got on the damn court, man.
I know.
Come on, man. We talking about a dude that sat here and told us he was physically fine. You can't sit here and tell me you physically fine. And I see you do windmill dunks.
Right.
And then a game that is literally a do or die situation, and he knows the magnitude of it.
I'm gonna die. Fuck
it.
that dude. I'm gonna die.
You know what I'm saying? He spoke to the magnitude of the game. He knows how important this game is. If you're physically fine, get your ass in that damn uniform, put your damn tennis shoes on, tie them motherfuckers real tight. Matter of fact, double knot it, because I want you busting out your shoe. Then I want you to get ready to ball. Even if I get 10 minutes, 15 minutes of Zion Williamson on the court, it's better than none. It's a 5-point game that you lost by. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, hell, 7 minutes of Zion Williamson. I'm pretty sure I could get some out of you that can help.
Zion on the court, you have to account for him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
I'm speaking to your point.
Yeah,
you have to account for him. So
you got to account for Zion Williamson on the court, whether he's 100%, 80%, 50%, no percent. If he's on the court, you still account for him. He can be your best bogey in the world, best decoy.
Are we doing this, Matt? The greatest thing to happen in the Garden besides Billy Joel and WWF in the last 50 years was Larry Johnson getting a 4-point play. Pipe down. In round one.
but like you can't as a GM, if I'm hearing that and I just gave you a contract extension knowing we know what we've gotten from you, you gave us a little bit of flash and a whole bunch of street clothes.
And no substance.
Pretty much.
In the last 4 years.
You're going to finish it. That was a layup to finish it. I thought you were taking my line.
No, I remixed it.
I thought you were going to say it. No,
I remixed it.
Twang on it.
Nah, I remixed it. So like for the last 4 years, Zion has given us a little bit of flash, a lot of street clothes, not a lot of substance.
Zion would be the perfect Nick because the best thing he's ever done was make the Nike sneaker explode. Had nothing to do with basketball, and they would worship him. He destroyed a Nike.
So that's my thing. If I've already seen that's what you've given us for the last 4 years, first of all, I wouldn't even gave him the contract extension without seeing that you can stay healthy. First of all, that'd have been
100. We said that. We had that discussion. I remember that discussion.
That was
like, you cannot pay this man.
That was dumb mistake number one. All right. We
said trade him. We said trade him while the stock was high before it went to nothing.
Yes. Right. And I'm still on that trade. You still trade him because here's the thing.
Maybe that's the plan. Maybe
there's still a fool out there. There's still a fool out there that will take the potential of what you can get for Zion Williamson. So guess what? If I'm the GM of the Pelicans, if you want to trade him for what you think you possibly can get for Zion in the future, by all means, take it. Let's talk. Because the fact of the matter is I've done enough the last 4 years and put up with a whole bunch of street clothes, no substance, little bit of flash, and a lot of hope and potential with this dude, and I keep getting the same result. It's 4 years.
Yeah.
I think we got enough evidence on what you're getting with Zion down in New Orleans. I think we got an idea. Bye-bye. You got to go.
Beignets and gumbo.
Hey, well, obviously he can't put the spoon down. All right, look like he love that jambalaya, love that damn etouffee, love that damn gumbo.
I love me some etouffee though.
I mean, I do love some good etouffee. That should be smacking. That should be smacking though. Yeah, maybe put the beignets down. Stop drinking the chicory.
Right.
I don't know whatever needs to happen is not happening in New Orleans. I gotta move off you, bro. I would literally trade you all to the first fool who thinks that they can medically cure you and think you're going to be a player that's going to start playing at least 60 to 70 games a year. If they think they can fix that, by all means.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even give them the contract extension first. But they already did, and next year they're going to start paying for it, and they're going to
trade, right? Maybe the organization is we need you healthy so we can trade you this summer,
right?
We're just maybe they're like saying we're done. We want players who will be on the court.
Oh, that's an interesting take right there, Nick. Just be healthy enough so we can use you as trade bait. That's not a bad take,
right? Like if you're the organization, like because you asked me before as the GM, and my brain was spinning. That could be a scenario that we didn't even get to yet, right? Like a blockbuster trade. Even though blockbuster gets thrown around ridiculously. Did you see Kyle Brandt on the NFL Network with that whole thing? It's like the word blockbuster gets thrown around. Darren Waller for a 3rd-round pick is not a blockbuster trade.
Right.
A blockbuster trade is the Russell Wilson trade, multiple number ones. And this is not a giant knock. This is just what.
Oh, you sure? You sure?
100%. This I'm quoting. This is not my take. This is the quote from Kyle Brandt on the NFL Network, because they had Tom Pelissero in studio, and he tweeted it while in studio, and it turned into a whole thing. And McCourty wore a blockbuster shirt the next day. It was basically saying how not every trade is a blockbuster.
Yeah,
like, it was a blockbuster thing when Jordan went to the Wizards. Like, that was a blockbuster thing. Like,
wave mover,
blockbuster for
needle mover
for a 3rd-round pick.
Yeah, needle mover. Gotta make some waves.
I mean, it's a solid move for the Giants, but the word blockbuster is thrown around too frequently in trade.
Nah, I feel you. I hear you. I'm just, but in regards of this Zion situation as a GM, I personally, and like you said, when news dropped that he got the contract extended, wouldn't even thought about doing that until you can prove you stay healthy. And now I'm definitely for sure after you just told me, dog, you healthy, you physical enough to play. Why ain't you suited up? And you lose and your team goes home now, they lose by 5 points. You can't tell me that even if you played 5, 7, 10 minutes, that couldn't have helped.
Right.
Come on, bro. I'm not buying that. And I get his point where he don't want to mess up the momentum and the chemistry of the team. I get that. That's very honorable of you, Zion. That's very honorable of you.
But I'll tell you why it's bullshit.
You don't do windmill dunks and then don't play, bro.
That too, but not only that, when you're on the road of getting healthy, they sometimes include you in practice. You don't get totally in practice, but you kind of get into the rhythm of kind of like the chemistry, how it goes, blah, blah, blah. And as you get healthy, you do more and more and more until you're healthy to do full practice. So my thing is like the chemistry couldn't have been too off because you could have slowly start implementing them in so they can get used to him being there. So still bullshit.
Well, the crazy thing is, I just thought about it to Nick's point where you say, hey, let's just get Zion healthy and possibly use him as straight bait. There hasn't been any noise of him actually practicing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're saying you're physically fine, so then there should have been like words of like maybe even a week ago that he's been practicing. I haven't seen any word that he's been practicing. So to Nick's point, that might be a good scenario to
road him and sell him, right? Sit him and sell him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, you got a point. Got a point right there, big homie. That might be it.
I'm gonna have to leave the thing. I'm agreeing too much with Nick.
It would kind of feel disgusting inside.
Yeah, go take another shower.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You said a penicillin shot.
It's about time though. You're losing like Jeff Goldblum at the end of The Fly.
Real quick, we'll
really
hit
nothing on that comment. You Lamar probably doesn't even know the movie.
Like The Fly.
The Fly with Jeff Goldblum when he's you never saw that with teleportation,
bro. I'm not as old as y'all, bro.
It doesn't mean nothing. They show that movie all the time.
First of all, Matt's old, Nick is old, and damn sure Dr. Holden, his snitchel is old as hell too. He been old and
well, why people use that as a
No, I muted him. No, I muted him. This is just an atrocity to the channel. This is just personal insults.
That doesn't make sense, man. You have technology where you can see it.
Hey man,
I'm not old enough to see Singing in the Rain, but I've seen the movie.
Technology of my youth was watching Jeff Goldblum teleport.
I'm not old enough to see
stuck into
Gone with
the
the Wind, but I've seen it.
He starts to transform into a fly.
First of all, Mel, you was the housekeeper on Gone with the Wind, man. I ain't trying to hear that, motherfucker. I got him. Anyway.
I'm not laughing. My allergies are just bothering me.
Hey, AP says, you know who shot JFK? Hey, but hey, couple of last few topics on NBA, and then we'll keep it pushing. Look, for me personally, as a Lakers fan, I wouldn't have mind if they would have lost that game because I think they're a better matchup with Denver than trying to deal with Memphis and John Morant and them boys. I think it's going to be a long 5-game set for them Lakers. I wouldn't be surprised if they get bumped out real quick, 3-1. Mel was there that day in Dallas. So real quick, you guys like the
you look at
which
the
one
picture
would you
of the Last
prefer?
Supper. Mel's the one with the darker tone.
Yeah, he was there. He had the picture in his hand. He was ready to pour water and everything. Real quick, which team would you guys think would have been a better matchup for the Lakers? Denver or the Memphis Grizzlies? Go ahead, Dr. Holden Mischnischel.
I don't know, man, because probably Denver. I think Denver would have been a better matchup.
For the Lakers,
yeah.
In the Lakers' benefit, it would have been a better matchup.
Yeah, I think.
Okay.
I just think I think the Grizzlies is too quick for them. The Lakers. What's that? He goes to Black German.
Photoshop. I wish I could Photoshop because I would just start taking pictures of Mel and putting him at places. Remember Forrest Gump? They just had pictures of him in all famous moments throughout time. That would be Mel right now. I would have photo after photo popping up of Mel throughout history. Like the Hindenburg crashes, and there's Mel.
Hey, please put him at Hiroshima with a mask on.
Riding the nuke to the ground.
No, I'm with you, man. I think Memphis is too fast for him. No, don't get me wrong. I think the athleticism for the Lakers has gotten better since they made those in-season trades.
Mm-hmm.
But matchup-wise, who's guarding Ja? I mean, there's no defense in the NBA anyway. But who's guarding Ja?
The whole team.
Said the whole team.
Right. For real.
No. The best way to guard Ja is put a camera in his face with a pistol.
With a pistol.
How do you guard him? You do the Logan Paul at WrestleMania. You hold the phone up.
Yeah, hold the phone on him. That's how you guard him. That's how you guard Ja.
You go on IG Live and just forget about the ball.
Hey, give him a few bundles of dollar bills, some dancers, a camera,
really killed
and a little 22, and that's how you guard Ja Morant, man.
Mel was there with George Washington Carver. Man, what type of butter is this?
Hey, wow, he said, "Tell me."
Mel was there with Alexander Graham Bell. You mean I don't have to walk 12 miles anymore to give a message?
Bruh, y'all got me tweaking over here, bro. Like y'all wild. But no,
Mel is the Black Keanu Reeves from the movie. Oh my God, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventures.
Oh,
Lamar don't even know that. Lamar doesn't even know that. His face went stale.
Come on, man. Y'all old heads keep bringing up these old ass movies and shit, man. Like, hell. Anyway. By the way,
we had to grow up in an era where there was actual acting and not everything was just built on a computer screen.
Yeah, I had VHSs. Yeah. I grew up in DVD. Well, no, I had VHSs.
Not the VHS. I'm talking about the movies were made on CGI now. You don't even need acting.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, that's just the times, man. But last quick hit, give a shout out to Mike Brown of the Sacramento Kings, named AP NBA Coach of the Year. Congratulations to Mike Brown, man. Very
is that his first?
Yeah, well,
Did
I
he ever
think he
get one
won
with
it in
Cleveland?
Cleveland when he had Braun.
This
But
is
I,
a bigger accomplishment, right? Without
yeah, I think so too because I think it's a better built team. He got him playing defense. He got that good 1-2 combination with Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. Like I said, I'm still rocking with the Kings until further notice. Coming out the West, I mean they got a tough matchup with the Warriors, so we'll see what happens there. But Mike Brown, to me, he was the only choice for Coach of the Year because there's no other coach that really stands out that's done such a great, phenomenal job to get their team in position to make a good playoff run. So Mike Brown, to me, was the only choice. Any coaches off the top of y'all head that you think deserve some love?
Nah.
Jock Vaughn for holding the Nets together. And
You know what?
That's a good one.
After the
I'm not
trade.
mad at that.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that.
I mean, I let me preface it with this: Mike Brown, yes, without question, someone who else deserved votes. You trade away Durant, you trade away Irving. Simmons, that the organization traded for, was a non-contributor to this team, and you kept that team afloat, right? Like they had a little bit of a rough road in the beginning after the trade initially, but I think Jock Vaughn is going to be a very good NBA coach for a very long time.
MJ and AP is coming for you, Mel, bro. They coming for you, bro. But no, Nick.
Mel was actually there and said to Adolph, "Hey, you should trim the mustache like this. It'll go over well."
Chill, bro. Chill.
I didn't talk about the person, just the style. Just the style. It's okay. You can make fun of the mustache.
But on some
Pearl Harbor.
on some real, Nick, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking of some other coaches that I would give some love to. I'm glad you brought up Jock Vaughn. I think he did, like you said, look at all this stuff that he had to deal with. Pretty much out of his own control. He had no control of the situation that was going on.
I mean, I'm not trying to counter. I'm not trying to counter or come down on Mike Brown. 100% deserves the award with what he's done. If the Nets were a 2 or 3 seed in the East, that would be the equivalent of what Jock Vaughn to Mike Brown. But it's clearly Mike Brown's award this year, 100%.
Yeah. No,
but if anybody should be second, I think Jock Vaughn deserves second on it.
Nah, Jock Vaughn deserves some love. I would even, even slightly, even though I know he didn't have a lot of games with Atlanta, I would slightly throw a little bit of love to Quinn Snyder, just because coming in so late, had to clean up a quick little, a few little disagreements inside the organization, and got them, facing the 2 seed. Unfortunately, got to go against Boston, so we'll see how that goes. Better be ready to shoot. Better ready to be very physical because that's going to be a physical game for sure. I don't know if Atlanta could stand a 5-game series with Boston in that physicality. I know they were the more physical team against Miami, but who knows if they can do it in an actual series. So
in the world is Mel was there for the first Thanksgiving and said, "Yo, fuck these people. I'll get them casinos in like 500 years. Let's rock."
Hey, man, turn this shit off, bro. Come on. Nah, it's time to go. No, it's time. It is time to go. It's I think we at least hit an hour, so we at least get an hour of view time. So thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been another great.
Hey, any good YouTube channel, the chat controls what we talk about, and the chat wants it right now. The chat is directing the show right now.
But like this is getting out of control, bro. But no. Let's move on because news dropped today. It's finally happening, y'all. It looks like it's a preliminary group. It's looking to get pretty much voted on by the 2/3 of the NFL owners. Looks like Daniel Snyder is on his way out of DC. as you know, we've already been kind of talked about it. You know, it's a prelim deal. So
Right.
I'm pretty sure, like you said, just waiting on votes for it to go through. But looks like we finally getting Dan Snyder up out the NFL, man. Detroit, man, kick it off, man. You happy about this, bro?
I have to wait and see. I have to wait till it finishes first. You know what I'm saying? Because like you just said, it's preliminary. It might not even go through at all.
Yeah, don't forget, Mark Cuban had the Cubs purchase too.
Right. Let me see. Let me see it go through first, and then I can give more of a comment on it. I mean, I like it.
Pretty much, you waiting on full sale through first.
Yeah. You know, I don't trust nothing at the beginning of the stage because they can say anything just to kind of get you going, and then Snyder find a way to back out of it.
Well, he has agreed to it. The Ian Rappaport tweet says Commanders owner Dan Snyder and 76ers and New Jersey Devils owner Josh Harris have now reached an agreement on a sale to Harris's group for $6.05 billion. It is not exclusive and not signed, but Harris appears to have won the bidding and finalized sales expected if all goes well.
Now I wonder. Now here's the thing. I wonder, what happened to the other group that Magic Johnson was involved in? Why that one didn't go?
I think he's in this one.
He's in this one.
Let me double check in this group.
Yeah, I know at one time they had one with Magic in it. And then I think this was a perfect. Like I think we had said this before. This was a perfect opportunity to allow a minority owner to buy a team. They should have been. NFL really should have pushed for that. Because now you just add another good old boy to the league. Oh, that's the group. Okay, MJ said that's the group.
Okay, so it is a group. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So
I figured it was.
I thought Magic was a part of the Lakers ownership. If he's a part of Josh Harris's group, that means he's a part of the Sixers ownership. You can't be in both.
No. Magic sold his stock in the Lakers a long time ago.
Did he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember when he was a GM for that moment, I think he soon sold his stock after that.
Okay. I've never heard of Josh Harris
if I'm correct.
Ago, so.
Yeah.
They have to wait. You can't have a name rebranding for 5 years. I mean, the Washington football team wasn't a name rebranding. That's why they had to go with something generic. They stripped it. Oh, fourth time, my bad. Yeah, the Redskins football team, Commanders. They should just go back to the Redskins and be like, you know what, and just blow everybody's mind.
I mean, I didn't mind watching football team. I kind of got used to it.
Right?
Yeah,
you knew what sport it was.
Right. Yeah. It just stayed with that. The Commanders talk. Right, the Commanders just sound.
Yeah, I got another one. Mel was there like this when James Naismith invented basketball. Lamar, you gotta look. Lamar, you gotta look. I can't hold my arms like this forever. This was Mel.
I saw it. I ain't messing with you, man. Ready to catch. Goodness gracious. I can't. Audience, please excuse everybody in the chat. In my just we do. They gone full conquers to it. You know, I've lost all control, so it is what it is. Sprinkle in at some point.
Lamar, you're very glitchy. You're very glitchy. Do I sound okay to you guys? Mel? Mel sounds okay. Lamar, I think it might be you.
No, you're fine.
Okay. It might be you. No, it's you. You sound glitchy. Okay. That's what happens when you try to derail me and Mel in the chat having fun.
Because I'm like, you get this negative voodoo that y'all got going on.
Yeah, you're bad, man.
Foolery voodoo. I don't know how to explain it, but
comes that cricket.
You say here comes the cricket service. It's mail, man. He didn't sold it to me. I brought it from him. I don't know why I did that. So go ahead, give us your thoughts on the prelim sale.
For me,
Yeah,
Big homie Nick, what's your thoughts on the prelim sale?
I mean, this is what the league wanted. You pay $800 million for something, and you get $6 billion for it down the road. That is the essence of business, right? Like you want that. Like the Jets were, Woody Johnson bought the Jets, I think, for $600 million, and now it's in the billions. So when you invest in something and you put big money into that at the time where they did, the explosion of sports value is wild. Like you buying something at $6 billion, like how much more expensive do you think it's going to get? I think it's a bad purchase, but I think it's a great sale. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Because he went almost 6 times its value. Like that would, for this guy to get the same percentage of return as Dan Snyder, the team would have to be worth $36 billion. It's just, we don't see that happening, right? Like,
yeah, $6 billion. Broncos went for $4 billion. So you do see the value of these, especially these NFL sports teams, are keep going up year and year. Well, I mean, it makes sense. They're making a shit ton of money, bro. So, as an NFL sports entity, they're making hand over fist billions of dollars.
Anthony
with the NFL.
might know this better than us, but I think Snyder paid for the stadium. That's why I think the value is so high, because the stadium is paid off by the team. Usually, that like you get people to chip in and go in on it with you, but when you privately fund the stadium, your team's value goes higher because you're not paying back loans and government. And the league will give everybody, I think once every 30 years, you get $300 million for the league towards the building of a new stadium, but you don't have to pay that back. That's just the league giving out $300 million. That's how profitable the league is.
Yeah.
Wow.
But that was the big thing when the Jets and Giants built. Did they give $300 million each? That was the little bit of a holdup for a while. But
just split the 300. Just split it. Like y'all share the same thing.
In a major market, like Dallas, New York, LA.
Yeah, but DC is still like a major, very important hub to.
It is, but I think the fact that, and that's the point.
You're right. Sports-wise, you're right.
Chicago, I don't think Chicago gets $6 billion if they sell. Like I don't know.
The Bears,
it's wild to me.
Well, the Bears has got a lot of history, man. They might get just because of that.
No, I think they at least
saved the league.
Like to me, Washington is like the Patriots, right? They're a regional team. They're not a city, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what I just realized?
What's that?
The 2 most hated teams in the NFL have the same exact logo on their helmet. Do you know the Patriot on New England has a star on his helmet, just like the Dallas Star?
I know Patriots that really.
Me neither.
Wow.
Yeah,
I swear to God,
in his hat.
If you Google it, on his hat, there's a star on the side because he's supposed to be a Patriot like America.
There's a star.
It's a star like Dallas, and that's why all those people are hated.
If I could get over $5 million.
I'd be surprised if they get more than Denver. But you never know.
We have the Capitol.
It's a brand new stadium, right? It's a stadium with a roof.
What up, Double J?
You just don't get Chick-fil-A on Sundays.
There you go.
We're coming up to about 40 minutes in the show. You ready for some mock? Or you need a little bit more time?
I'm done. No, please. It's been an hour.
Right.
I've lasted an hour in many years.
What is this version mock 3.0 on the show?
This would be 3. This is the first. We did one pre-free agency when my buddy Tigo joined.
Yeah.
And, I'm gonna plug this before we do it. Sunday on the Buffalo Jet Fans channel. He's a Jet fan who grew up in Long Island and moved up to Buffalo. And when he started his YouTube channel, it's called the Buffalo Jet Fan. We have 7 of us that I do Jet shows with. We're doing a full round 1 mock. We just picked the order. We're gonna do it live at 8:00 on Sunday night. So I'll post a link. It should be fun. A lot of good guys.
Yeah, drop it on the I.O.W. Facebook page.
I have number 3 with Arizona, and I already told everybody I'm taking calls 24/7. So make an offer. I have 3, and then I have 9 with the Bears. I have the Ravens pick at 22. I have both of the Saints. So it should be interesting. I didn't get the Jet pick. The guy who's hosting the channel, we gave him the Jet pick for hosting it.
All right, kick it off. Pick one. You got Carolina Panthers. Obviously, we know they're taking QB. And your opinion, which QB are they going to take at number one?
I cannot give the keys to my franchise to a quarterback who's 5'10" and a quarter inch. I can't do it. You look at Murray, there's a lot of complications with his game because of the size.
Yep.
And it's a copycat league. And to me, that's the blueprint to not follow is the Kyler Murray situation. Sure, there's highlight moments, but when you look at teams that win the Super Bowl, it's always a guy who can beat you from the pocket. And I don't see that. If you go back and you watch the LSU game this year, because Nikki was with me, and Nikki's an Alabama fan, and I root against Alabama just for the fun of it. He couldn't step up in the pocket and deliver over the middle against LSU, and LSU, I think, ended up defeated them. But he had like 4 or 5 throws where he had to move up in the pocket, and he couldn't step into it, and he didn't have the arm strength, and they fell short or they were bad throws. So, I mean, it's a red flag to me because you have to be able to step up, stand tall in the pocket, and deliver in the NFL. Now, I'm not saying Bryce Young isn't going to be a nice NFL player. I would just rather go CJ Stroud. I would definitely, if I'm the Panthers and I'm putting on the GM hat, I'd rather go CJ Stroud at 6'3". And I like his leadership better. It's no knock on Bryce Young. It's not a dig at him. Wait till the Giants pick. I'm going to mumble the name and just move on. But yeah, I'm number one overall. I'm going CJ Stroud.
Yeah, CJ Stroud will pick. Pick 2. You got Houston Texans. Pick 2. Houston Texans.
Everybody expects a quarterback, right? I think the best thing for the Texans to do is, hey, what's up, Jay? I think the best thing for the Texans to do is take the best available player, since you have number 2 and you have number 12, and build the best roster. And I cannot, in good conscience, look at Will Anderson Jr. and not say this is the best player in this draft, and this guy can change our franchise. Now, at number 12, you can move up for a quarterback. You have enough picks from the Deshaun Watson trade to move up, but I don't think there's anybody here at this position, a quarterback, that makes me say I can't have Will Anderson. And if you want to compete in the NFL, you got to disrupt the quarterback on the other team as much as have your own quarterback. And his disruption level is greater than the quarterback play level, I think. So I'm going to go with the shocker here at number 2, and I'm going to predict Will Anderson Jr.
To your credit, me and MJ talked about it the other day on the night show because Adam Schefter had an interesting quote. He says, I'm not sold that they're going quarterback at 2. And it's funny that you're saying this because I'm like, I don't know if I'm still rocking with Davis Mills, though.
Why not? Rock it. Like, if you want to make the best possible team, get the best 2 players at 2 and 12. You still have 2 1s next year. You can go trade up once you fill out your roster.
Okay. I mean, you're making a compelling case, but then I look at Davis.
Why bring in a rookie who's not going to succeed because the roster is so bad? I would rather build up the roster a little more, get a receiver at 12, get the edge rusher. You got Derek Stingley and the cornerback. Build your team, and then bring in a guy that you can slowly bring along, or go all in to move up to number 1 and make a trade once your roster is worthy of being an NFL team. And I just don't think that the Texans are a QB away.
That's fair. Yeah, that's saying you make a compelling case. But then
what fun would it be to do this and doing what everyone else does? That takes the whole essence of me away.
No, that's fine, but I'm saying I still look at Davis Mills. I'm like, all right, go pick 3, man. Pick 3.
I have the Raiders trading up with Arizona.
Ooh.
I have the Raiders coming up and getting Bryce Young from Alabama.
Wow.
When that shock happens at 2, I think Arizona cashes in, moves back. You can put Bryce Young behind Jimmy G for a year and a half, and then bring him in and bring him on. Josh McDaniels would get a young quarterback to develop. If you don't play him in year one, now you're able to go to ownership and buy yourself another year as the head coach, right? Because he moved on from Carr, brings in Garoppolo. Now we're drafting a rookie, but we're not going to play him right away. We're not going to do the Zach Wilson and draft a guy early and play him. Let's play him when he deserves to play.
Got you. Pick four.
Could see the Titans jumping up too. Don't sleep on the Titans jumping up.
Okay.
Number
Jay,
4.
you hear that? You hear that, Jay? Titans might move up. You hear that?
Go ahead, number Titans fan?
Yeah, he's a Titans fan.
Number 4 is my most intriguing player of the draft. I had him going number 1 previously until Carolina moved up. I had the Colts moving up to number 1. I called it with how's his name? Gardner Minshew going there with the Philly offensive coordinator, bringing in this quarterback. It's a copycat league. You saw what Jalen Hurts did running the RPO. Imagine Anthony Richardson and Jonathan Taylor running an RPO, and now you bring Richardson in on those 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, and now you have that run threat of Taylor with the run threat of Richardson, and then you slowly develop and evolve Richardson into a passer. I think it's a great scenario for the Colts. If you don't trade up and still get him at 4, it's the best possible scenario for the Indianapolis Colts.
Nice. Pick 5.
Pick 5, the Seahawks. They nailed the Tariq Woolen pick in the 5th round last year.
They did.
Kid came up and played just as well, if not times better, than Sauce Gardner at cornerback. They got back, my God, the linebacker they had.
Bobby Wagner.
They got Wagner back. I have a hard time passing on Jalen Carter. I don't care. I don't care about the incident. We can rectify that. There's no charges pressed on him. And the Seattle Seahawks do a fantastic job of drafting. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a pick that moves. If somebody wants to go up and get that 4th quarterback, this is where the Seahawks could really capitalize. But you would have elite playmakers on every level of a defense in a weak NFC where I think it's the 49ers, Eagles, and then number 3 is up for grabs between the Cowboys, the Lions, the Seahawks, the Giants. I think if Seattle can nail these 2 picks as well as Detroit, who's up next, these guys can really elevate into that upper echelon of the NFC. Like they're tinkering on it right now, in my opinion.
All right, who you got? Pick 6.
I got Jalen Carter.
Yeah.
Number 6, after they just moved Jeff Okudah, I have them taking the Lions, Mel's team, taking Devin Witherspoon, the cornerback from Illinois. I think you can't go wrong with him or Gonzalez. I know when I did my first one, I had Gonzalez first, and I remember Anthony asking me, why not Witherspoon? And I've watched some film on Witherspoon this past week, and I think he might be the number 1 corner. And I don't think there's a big difference between the 2 of them. Like last year, Stingley went 3, Gardner went 4, and Gardner ended up being better for the year 1. You might see that this year with these 2 guys. That's how good they are. So I don't think you can go wrong putting in either name at cornerback. It's just a matter of who you think fits your scheme better.
Yeah. All right, we got pick 7.
What do you think, Mel? You on board with that pick as a Lions fan?
I mean, I think what Holmes did in free agency, they got a lot of different ways they can go. I mean, I would like to see them get a defensive lineman like Wilson out of Texas Tech. I mean, and then because I think you got so many cornerbacks in this draft, you still get a good cornerback. My man from Maryland's pretty good, and he'll fit that team. But I do like Witherspoon. I think he's perfect for the team. He's the type of player that Dan Campbell likes. So I wouldn't be upset. Yeah, so I wouldn't be upset if they get him.
He can match up with like Anquan Bolden. He can match up with AJ Brown. He plays physical.
Right.
As long as you can read the defensive.
Now they talk about because Jay said the Titans better be trading for Lamar, and then MJ said, "Yeah, trading for Lamar Wallace." Hey man, just I'm the best handoff quarterback in the world. I got that big hoss back there named Derrick Henry. That's all I'm doing. I'm turning around.
Possibly, maybe.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if Henry gets moved draft weekend.
That's what I said. Possibly or maybe you got Derrick Henry. You don't know that.
Well, if they get me, you keep Derrick because I ain't coming with no Derrick.
Sir.
That's what she said.
About you coming.
That's what she said. I'm not coming if there ain't no Derrick.
And then keep the damn draft on me.
So
go ahead.
Arizona now has the 7th pick where the Raiders were. And they would have taken, in my opinion, Jalen Carter at 3. They move down. They add to that D-line. And they take Tyree Wilson out of Texas Tech, who Will Anderson is the most talented player. I think Tyree Wilson can be the best player out of this draft.
I think he's the most. I think Wilson the most versatile.
Yeah, and you know they lost J.J. Watt. They lost that guy on the D line who you line up and say we have to worry about this guy, and he's a great person too. He would be a good face of the organization.
Right.
They drafted some players who haven't hit. I think. Like you have to take the best player available, and you load up on some extra picks
like
here
Kingsbury.
too. I love the kid. I really honestly love him. I like him. And if we didn't need offensive line, I would be calling for Joe Douglas to trade up to get him. That's how much I love this kid.
All right, what you got next with picks?
Number 8, we got Atlanta. Atlanta's put in a lot of work to the defense. They brought in Calais Campbell, which nobody saw coming going there, and that being his team. They brought in Okuda. They're doing some reclamation projects. They're trying those on defense. You got Drake London. You got Kyle Pitts. If you want a young quarterback to succeed, go get him as many weapons as possible. If you stick with Ritter at quarterback, right here, I think Will Levis could be a sleeper pick if he falls here to 8. But I'm going to go with Jackson Smith-Njigba from Ohio State, the wide receiver, and give them an elite route runner alongside of the big body of London and the unicorn weapon in Pitts, and give them a chance to really develop that offense and grow together.
That'll give Pitts a chance to actually start shining, man.
Yeah. Now you can
he's been very underwhelming so far in his first couple of years.
And it's because they've had really nobody else. You could bracket him nonstop because there's no other threats. Now that you have a guy with the size of London in year 2 and Smith-Njigba, who could be another Garrett Wilson type with his route running and elusiveness, you can't come up and bracket the tight end because you got to worry about him taking a simple slant, splitting the safeties and going. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's quarterback or if they even move up a little bit for a quarterback. But today, this is what I got.
All right, big 9.
Number 9, Chicago Bears. You know, they got the major haul. They moved back. It's plain and simple. It's not the sexy pick. It's the right pick that'll help you win. I got them taking the tackle Paris Johnson Jr. from Ohio State. He's a big mauler. He would be great in the RPO, getting out there ahead of Justin Fields in the run game. And he can protect Fields' backside because I think Fields is a very underrated passer. And I will go on record for multiple years now saying that Fields was the guy I wanted, not Zach Wilson. So it bothers me watching Fields be as good as he is.
Big 10.
This goes against everything I believe. And just that sentence alone, you two should know what the pick is based off of my draft philosophy. I have the Eagles taking Bijan Robinson from Texas. You got A.J. Brown. You got the tight end.
A running back that high?
Because they have 2 number 1 picks. Yeah.
Please don't draft that high. Please don't draft that high.
You're going to pay Hurts eventually this offseason. You're going to give Hurts the money. The RPO with Robinson and Hurts is a major upgrade to that offense. And you saw how good that offense. You're not going to be able to do this quarterback push crap anymore. You could just line up now with Robinson and run the goddamn ball and say, go ahead, stop it. You got still a top 3 offensive line in football. You got Smith, you got Brown, you got Ertz, and now you got Bijan Robinson coming out of the backfield.
Who can receive too.
Yes.
Yeah. It's, Philly's been doing running back by committee with Sanders, with Gainwell, with Scott. Now you got an alpha 1. And for a team that played in the Super Bowl to be picking 10th, I think this has to be the. I would be shocked if this is not the pick for Philly because you can't let him slide and end up in Dallas.
Yeah, because they need a running back.
Yeah, or Washington, and you give the enemy a queen on the chessboard in his first to build his offense. I mean, I know they got some nice running backs in Washington, but Bijan is a major upgrade. And if you're Philly and you want to keep a stranglehold on that division, go complete your offense. You got 2 top wide receivers in Smith and Brown. You got an above average tight end, top 6-7 tight end in Ertz. Now you go and get a running back, and now you give your young quarterback every chance to develop and get to another level as a passer.
That would make a nice little weaponry for Jalen Hurts. Brown, Smith, Goddard, Bijan. That would be a nice little stable of weapons. That would be nice. All right, who you got to pick? What we at? Pick 11?
Yeah, if the Titans stay at 11, you got Derrick Henry. As of today, you still have Derrick Henry, even though the rumors are out there swirling. I'm going with Peter Skoronski from Northwestern. He can play guard. He can play tackle. Let me finish this, Jay, and then that's it. You got, the Titans football is ground and pound, and you have to be able to do that.
Yeah,
it's a disservice to Derrick Henry if you're not putting quality offensive linemen in front of him. They lost Jack Conklin 2 years ago. They lost Tyler
Lewan.
Ben Jones, the center, is gone. You got to put pieces back in front of there for Henry to succeed.
Yeah.
So I think that's the pick. You think Eckler gets traded in the first round? He's got to get paid too, right? Or did he just get paid? I forget.
Well, he wants to get paid. That's why contract negotiations with him and the Chargers stalled, and he's trying to get paid. So they granted him permission to seek a trade. So,
okay.
Me personally,
round one, no. I can't see round one. That might be an end of the night before day 2 starts type of move with Eckler, with like a round 2 this year and then some sort of conditional pick the following season. But I think it's possible. CBS Sports had something up today with the possible traded players during the draft, notable names traded during the draft potentially, and it was Rodgers to the Jets, of course. It had D-Hop and it had Eckler with like 4 or 5 teams interested, and the Jets were one of them, which kind of shocked me with how much they love Breece Hall.
Hey, that's not a bad
I don't think
combination at running back though. Breece Hall and Austin Eckler. It's not a bad combination.
But then you got to pay him.
No, you would have to pay him, but the thing is, Breece Hall would still be on his rookie contract for at least another 2 years.
Yeah,
3. Yeah, 2-3 years.
It'd be this and 2 more. 3. It's 3 more years.
Yeah. So I mean, something to think about.
I would be surprised if it was the Jets. If the Jets make a play, I see it being for Hopkins and just going all in to give Rodgers every weapon he needs.
Yeah, I mean, y'all missed out on the OBJ signing. I don't know.
We didn't miss out. He called us and said, I'll come there, but this is the money I'm getting. And they were like, yeah, okay, goodbye, go enjoy Baltimore. Like he called the Jets and said, hey, this is the offer I have, match it. And the Baltimore GM today even said, DaCosta said, we knew we were underdogs going in, but it's a great feeling to come out with a player that we desired. Saying that we know he didn't want us. He wanted to go to the Jets, but we had to go and get this player. If you look at Baltimore's, we'll get to that in a little bit.
Where we at, pick 12?
Pick 12. I got Houston taking Will Levis.
Okay.
They get the quarterback still. He doesn't have to play right away. You can ride Mills a little bit. It's done. It's done. It's a done deal. It's going to happen on the clock. I'll talk about that in a little bit. I got them going Will Levis. They could go another route. Like I said, they could go around and say we're going to ride Mills 1 more year and take the best available player and maybe take another wide receiver here. And you got Damian Pierce as a running back who's very good as a rookie. Now maybe you say, all right, we got an edge rusher. Now we're going to put a wide receiver out here. Maybe Davis Mills develops into a Daniel Jones type where he manages the offense well enough the team can succeed because you got a good running back and you're starting to put some weapons around him. Well, I'm not down on Davis Mills. I think he might be able to be a hold the fort guy like Bill Parcells said for 1 more year and then you go all in for a quarterback next year after your team starts to, get their head out of from underwater.
Right.
All right, hey, let's get a little bit rapid fire on these picks. We got about like 20 minutes left in the show. Pick 13.
I got the Chargers trading up with the Jets. I got the Chargers jumping the Patriots to go get cornerback Christian Gonzalez. I think the Patriots want to add to the D. They've lost some pieces on the defensive end with McCourty and Jackson the year before. Mm-hmm. So I think the Chargers move up to add to their secondary so they can cover teams like Jacksonville, who came back on them pretty easily with the passing game, and Kansas City to compete. And Denver is going to be better, too, this year with the Sean Payton offense. So I think the Chargers move up and to get ahead of the Pats. And I think it's ideal for the Jets to recoup some picks and move back. 14, the Patriots. I got them taking safety Brian Branch from Alabama. This guy screams Bill Belichick intelligent player for me. You just lost McCourty, who retired. And I think that you add Brian Branch into the back of that secondary, you could be looking at that queen on the chessboard, Palomalu, Ed Reed. He could play the pass, he could play the run. He's just a smart, intelligent player who could do it all. And
Belichick's going to have a field day with him.
Yeah. Like, I don't want it to happen. But looking at the Patriots, it's the pick that I give to them. That's what they're going to do. Yeah. I get it. Now, there's no trade. Supposedly, there's 2 trades agreed upon between the Jets and the Packers, and it depends how the board falls. They could swap 13 and 15 amongst other things, or they could do a number 2 pick and leave the first-round picks alone, depending on how the board falls. But staying here at 15, I have them getting the Jets' second-round pick in this scenario. So they'll have back-to-back picks in the second round where they can go and get a receiver. I got them taking Lucas Van Ness, the edge from Iowa. They lost Clay Matthews. They've lost Darius Smith. They've lost guys who can get after the quarterback. And it's a league where you got to protect the quarterback and hit the quarterback. And I see them going and adding a good, solid piece to that defense. 16, Washington, Anthony's team. I got them going Joey Porter Jr., the cornerback from Penn State. Joey Porter's son, former Pittsburgh great.
Right. It sounds like people talk about him as much as they did at the beginning.
That's because Witherspoon and Gonzalez have climbed so much and separated themselves. But most years, Porter would be a number 1 or 2 cornerback.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
But I just think, he's 6 foot, so it's not like it's a size thing. I just think that the other 2, they move better. And listen, you could draft Porter as the 3rd cornerback, and he may end up being the defensive rookie of the year with that pass rush and Chase Young coming back healthy in Washington.
Right.
You know how much a pass rush helps the secondary play better.
I agree with you, Ant. I like Banks from Maryland.
Over Porter, Ant? Would you be upset if Porter's the pick over Banks?
I wouldn't if I was Washington. I'll take either or. I think Banks is a nice player. I think he's not. He don't get much shine as on the rest of them, but I think he's nice. But go ahead, Nate.
Okay. 17, the Steelers. We know their bread and butter. It's offensive line and linebackers. There's no linebacker worth taking at this point. So I got them taking a guy that I covered for the Jets. It's Broderick Jones, the tackle from Georgia. You got Najee Harris. You got a young quarterback. Go protect him. He's very good in the run game. His technique is almost flawless in the passing game. Doesn't do anything sexy. He's not the knockdown mauler, but he's such a good technician. You won't hear his name, and that's the best thing about an offensive lineman during the game, right? Is you never hear the name. He just does his job quietly. So I think that's a good pick for them. 18, we're back up with the Lions. And to go with the cornerback, I got them taking defensive tackle from Clemson, Brian Bresee. I think he would be very intriguing next to Hutchinson. He's got that J.J. Watt build to him. The dude is enormous. And if you can get that push, a guy who can physically play the run as well as get after the passer, you put that next to Hutchinson,
Yeah.
or you flip them and you move them around. It would be a lot of fun to be a defensive coordinator with those two pieces on the line.
Yeah, you want Aiden in 1v1 situations.
Right.
Yeah. And as they or you stunt them and you move them around, it would be really fun to watch because the Lions can score with anybody.
Yeah.
You got Jameson, you got St. Brown, you got an elite offensive line, you got
the offense isn't an issue.
Offense not an issue. I mean, they were losing games 37-36 for crying out loud. You know, if you can hold the team to 24, you're going to win a lot more games with Detroit.
Yeah.
19, the Buccaneers. I know people have mentioned them possibly moving up for quarterback. I just don't think it's worth jumping at this point. If anything, Tampa Bay should be sellers, in my opinion, and try to load up picks to reload. You went all in, you got the Super Bowl, and now it's time to sell it off, right? Find Mike Evans a home.
Hey, real quick, funny that you say that. Devin White put in his request to be traded a couple years ago. I wouldn't be surprised if you see Devin White part of that trade scenario in draft weekend either. I wouldn't be surprised.
We'll take him.
Okay.
I mean, he's a good backer. Sideline, he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He can still play. He wants to get paid. I don't know Detroit's cap situation, but Detroit with
20 or 25 mil.
That's plenty. That's plenty. Mm-hmm. You can sign a guy to a $50 million contract and have $300 available the way that the salary cap is.
Right.
I don't understand it. I will fully admit I do not understand the cap in the NFL. It's like the clitoris. It's a myth. It doesn't exist.
I know. I got 2 kids, man. I know what that is. I ain't missed
a few on my day.
I've heard tales of its existence.
Buccaneers pick. Who you got?
So the Buccaneers pick. You got Godwin. You got Evans. You got a good rookie quarterback, running back last year. I got them taking the top tight end. I got them taking Dalton Kincaid from Utah.
Okay.
When you got a young quarterback playing or an inexperienced quarterback playing, the old tail, you get him a tight end, you get him a run game to lean on, right? You already got Evans and Godwin. You got Godwin who can go over the middle. You got Evans, the outside threat. Get him a tight end to work in between the numbers. And
Kincaid of a Mayor, though?
Yeah, I was about to ask that.
Kincaid of a Mayor?
Yeah, with what the Bucks do and what the Bucks ask from their tight end, yes.
Okay.
All right, pick 20.
20, Seahawks. You got Tyreek Woolen last year. You got the D lineman this year. And number 5, Cam Smith from South Carolina going to Seattle.
I've been seeing more chatter on him. I've been seeing more chatter on Cam Smith.
When Seattle is at their best, they've had an elite secondary.
Yep.
Go and bring him in there. Now 21, the Jets. The Jets traded back to pick up a second rounder that they lost in the Rodgers trade. And I got them taking Anton Harrison, the tackle from Oklahoma. Another big guy. Okay. He's smooth hips. He can do the stretch run game and get to the sideline pretty quick. So if you have
real quick, Nick, let me ask you this. Shoot. Are you making that pick because you're worried about the health of Mekhi Becton?
No, I'm making that pick to put him with Becton.
Okay.
Becton, who looked like he was 400 pounds last year, they're saying is down around 335, 340. He looks fantastic.
Yeah, no. I'm just asking because me and you've had several conversations. You love the potential of Becton. You're worried about the health of Becton. So
potential is what? Potential shit you haven't achieved yet.
Yeah.
So we have Max Mitchell. We have Dwayne Brown. But Becton, we have the deadline, but it doesn't look like they're going to pick up his 5th-year option.
Mm-hmm.
Go with Harrison, put him in at left tackle, figure out right tackle. If Becton plays well, you want to re-sign him, you have that option. You have Dwayne Brown, who played with a separated shoulder last year, played well. He can fall into the backup role, which is what you originally designated him for. And then we have a kid, Max Mitchell, who started 6 games last year and was graded pretty highly, but then he had the blood clot issue and they said it's not a long-term thing. Medication was going to fix it.
What do you want? Pick 22.
Pick 22. The Ravens. They added Beckham. They have Bateman, the Baltimore Ravens are the only team in the NFL that have drafted poorer than the New England Patriots at the wide receiver position.
Yeah. That is
true. The only team in NFL history to never have
got 2 dogs,
a wide receiver make the Pro Bowl. The wide receiver that they drafted make the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
I got them going with Zay Flowers.
Oh,
You got
no.
I know. I got them taking him. I think Beckham would be a very good player for him to learn behind and learn how to play that wide receiver position. You still got the good run game. You got a tight end, and now if you're paying Lamar this money, you gotta make it. And all signs look like Lamar's going to end up there, because why else would you be FaceTiming Beckham celebrating that he signed there? You don't make that call and talk to him celebrating going to the team unless you plan on being there, right?
Yeah, MJ said the same thing, and I'm starting to lead towards that. At least Lamar is back in Baltimore for at least 1 year, because there's a 1-year deal for OBJ. So yeah, damn, Zay Flowers at 22 with the Ravens, huh?
Yeah. I mean, they have to take one, right? Like, you look
Yeah.
at the wide receiver core.
Oh, you got to. No, you're right. You're right. That's the best choice right there. And I'm looking at you, Brett Veach. Jump in front of Baltimore. Go get Zay. All right, 23.
The Minnesota Vikings, you got an elite alpha dog in Justin Jefferson. Adam Thielen is no longer there.
Osborne came on.
Yeah, he came on. You brought in the midseason trade for Hawkinson. He was a top 3 tight end for like the last couple of weeks of the season. I'm not going to mention the quarterback because I know the reaction I'm going to get from Mr. Hold My Schnitzel. But you got to add, you got to have layers to your offense, and you got Dalvin Cook in the backfield, and I got them taking Quentin Johnston from TCU.
Okay.
If you could teach him the over the middle game and to catch with his hands and not be a body catcher, I think he would be a really, really good addition to that offense. Nice. And no, Mel, I'm not referring to you out at the club when I say body catcher. Going next at 24. We got the Jaguars, who could be like the Lions and the Jets, teams that have been down for so long, who are finally getting respect and jumping up into the upper echelon of the conference. Mm-hmm. You got a all-star quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. Do everything to keep him upright. You signed Brandon Scherf last year. Now you bring in Osiris Torrance from Florida. There you go, Matt. There's your Florida reference, your second one. You bring in him and you solidify the middle so that he doesn't have the pocket collapsing on him and he can do what he does, passing the ball. You have to build around this kid, and I think this is the perfect way to do it. You bring it. You already have Ridley, who was the most underrated move in NFL history, I think.
They got it for a bag of peanuts
last year. Even though he had to sit out for the year, you acquired him.
Yeah.
Phenomenal and brilliant on the Jaguars' part, knowing, hey, we're still a year away, but we're going to add a guy
a year away.
When you bought him as low as possible.
Right.
It's such a brilliant move.
Yeah.
25, I got the Giants. I know that people are down on this wide receiver class, but I just think the need and the desire for receivers are going to make them go in the round one. And when you look at the Giants, nobody needs receivers. The Ravens and the Giants are the two teams that really need wide receivers. And I got them taking Jordan Addison from USC. I think he'd be a nice addition. He's a very good route runner. To help Dan Jones get the ball out on time and be more of a precision passer. I know they lost the one guy to the Chiefs. Well, they lost Tony, and then who'd they lose? James was the other one.
Yeah, Richie James.
Yeah, and that was like his go-to guy in the Minnesota playoff game, I believe. So you got to go get, especially if you're paying a quarterback that money, go let him be your quarterback now. Get him what he needs to succeed, right? You traded for Waller. Yeah, you traded for Waller, which is a really good, solid move. You hope he stays healthy, and now you add a piece like this. It's about as good as it can get for picking a 25. And I love Brian Dable's offense, and he'll maximize this.
Yeah, Dable's good. Hey, stay focused. 26.
Most hated team in America. I give them Trenton Simpson, a linebacker from Clemson, a guy who can go sideline to sideline. He can make a lot of plays in the run or the pass game, and you start to build, just along with Parsons, guys on the second tier that can just change the game.
Just flat out
get the Patriot pick. I hated this pick as much as giving Branch to the Patriots.
Right.
But I just think with what they need, you don't draft a running back in round 1. You know my feelings on that. Like Philly did it because Philly's complete. Dallas is not complete.
I get it.
I think if they get a linebacker, they would be pretty well off. Buffalo Bills, I debated Gibbs, the running back from Alabama, but I have them. Listen, what's their issue? Their issue's been covering people. The Bengals ran around on them. The Chiefs have run around on them. And I got them taking Calais Ringo from Georgia. I think he can line up and help, and he can play the zone as well as man. And I think he fits what they do better than other players would.
Got to replace Tremont Edmonds anyway. So
I just don't think the value is here. If Simpson was there, I debated it.
Yeah.
But I don't think. I think you can get a linebacker in 2 that can step up and play.
Yeah.
Especially with the quality of their offensive line or defensive line. Forgive me. You can bring in somebody who can succeed quicker at linebacker when he doesn't have to worry about fending off linemen all the time, and he can play in space. I think you could find that speed in 2 or 3. Next, we got the Bengals at 28. I mean, this was the no-brainer pick, right? This is the easiest one I made the whole round. Offensive tackle Darnell Wright from Tennessee. But with what you have there, you have
That's
the
most no-brainer pick.
It was so simple, you know. It was so simple. Like the same thing I was saying about Trevor Lawrence. You have an all-world quarterback. You do everything you can to keep him right and keep him healthy. 29, the Saints. I debated a couple players here at this position because you also get to the end of the round, and when you do like a full round mock, you're looking at, oh my God, this guy's fallen. This guy won't go in round 1. You see those names, and it's just the way it happens. Especially when you're doing it by yourself, it gets a little tedious. But I have the Saints taking Miles Murphy, the edge from Clemson. The Saints, when the Saints defense is good, they could get after the quarterback, right? A couple of those guys are getting up there in years. Go bring in a good physical guy who's got the speed also to get to a quarterback. This next pick I really hated making, but I had to make it. I gave the Philadelphia Eagles Nolan Smith from Georgia, and I did not believe I had him falling this far.
I got it from my home country.
He got his PhD, his pimp and hose degree. Closing out round 1. The Chiefs.
Wait. What was pick 30 again? Which team was playing?
Nolan Smith from Georgia, the speedy edge rusher going to the Eagles.
Oh wow! Oh yeah, they need linebackers. I didn't
want to start it over, but I was like,
they need linebackers.
I had it. He will not be there at 30. I highly doubt he'll be there. The Chiefs, you don't get Zay Flowers, but you get Jalen Hyatt from Tennessee. A good wide receiver, good body, good threat.
Not bad.
Patrick Mahomes makes humans out of dog shit. Right. So you can put anybody there. Expect Tony to have a much bigger role in year 2 in the training.
I need him to stay on the field, though.
I know.
Stay on the field, though.
I just think
only knock against Tony. That is my only knock against Tony, and quite frankly, that's the reason why he's not in New York. And then he performed well in the Super Bowl. Made his plays, made the great punt return. But my thing is, bro, look, young Jugo, I need you on the field, man. Like, cause you're electric. He's electric. I've seen him do some crazy route running and had safeties and corners like picking up jocks. And the only thing is that hamstring, man. It's killing me. So hey, good mock, bro.
I think Hyatt is a Juju Smith-Schuster type.
Yeah, which is fair.
I think that is
slightly faster than Juju.
Yeah, but I think he could fill that role, right? Like he could play that. He's not the big body guy. He's not the speedster, but he's that.
He's a tweener. He's
he's a complete wide receiver. He's like a Derek Jeter at shortstop, right? It was never the best at everything.
I saw him kill Alabama. He killed Alabama
Is
in
that
that
the
game.
5 touchdown game?
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that game too.
Went for like 2 bills and some change.
Yeah,
so I saw
he's getting drafted
Alabama
off of that game, right?
Oh yeah, just that one
He
right
ran
there.
past Brian Branch twice. He's getting drafted off of that game.
That got him drafted right there. No, for real. Hey man, good mock, bro. I like it. Want to make sure you got through all the picks because I know you take the time and effort to do that mock draft, and I know it's not easy. That's why I leave it up to you because I ain't doing it. I ain't got time for it.
It's tough,
but anyway,
you try to be level-headed with it, and you try to make the right pick for the team.
Right.
And even though you don't like the team, you're like, all right, to be credible, I got to give them the player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like I hate Brian Branch going to the Patriots. I hate it, but to be credible with doing this, I have to give them that pick.
Yeah.
We
understand.
The comment what Matt made about the Jets. Yeah, they land Aaron Rodgers. We were 5-2 with Zach Wilson at quarterback. We beat the Buffalo Bills without our best offensive players, Breece Hall and Elijah Vera Tucker. We have a top 5 defense. The defense is only going to get better when the offense gets better. Now, we only needed mediocre quarterback play to win games last year. That's how good the defense was. We're getting a lot better than mediocre play if we get Aaron Rodgers. So, yeah, when on draft weekend, when it becomes official, I think even Vegas has it. Vegas has the Bengals, the Chiefs, and the Bills ahead of the Jets in the AFC. And then they have the Jets at 4th right now with the odds.
I would flip the Jets and the Bills.
I would too.
That's just me. The Bills gonna take a step back this year.
100%, I agree.
That's just me. But anyway, hey man, great show. That's episode 238 in the books.
And I was right until Hall and Vera Tucker got hurt. They were 5-2, and then our whole season went to shit on back-to-back plays in Denver.
It happens, man. It happens.
Injuries happen.
Injuries happen.
Who had the Jets at 5-2?
Nobody.
They had them at 5-12, but they didn't have them at 5-2.
But no, man, great show today. Episode 238 in the books. Make sure y'all tap in tonight. Me and MJ are gonna finish the week strong with another great episode of Late Night Owl Edition. There's a little birdie that told me that AP is supposed to be on the show tonight and have a live debate with MJ, and we're gonna do some top 5 categories. That's what a little birdie had told me. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not. We'll see. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. But y'all tune in tonight for sure. Hey, y'all see all the social media stuff on the bottom. I.O.W Sports Network, Facebook, Instagram, most importantly, the YouTube channel where all the content is stored. Again, I.O.W Sports Network, I.O.W Sports 1 on the Twitter. Y'all can catch me anytime. And y'all know what it is. On behalf of the big homie Nick Shine, Dr. Holden his Schnitzel, the black German from Congo. I am the Wild Carmar.
Hello, I am here. I have the medicine for you.
We'll see y'all Monday.
I'm from a small island cut.
No,
that's my Adabisi
turn it off.
from Oz.
Turn it off.
This will cure you. This is my penicillin.